I would say a couple of the things that we noticed the most was, one, she's established a lot more self-confidence in the way of her academics, in that she's able to focus a lot more, and she's exhibited an ability to push herself beyond that fear of failure and try these experiences and try the courses without concern about failing. Susie's always she's very athletically talented, but there was always a common theme that would carry forward, whether it was soccer or softball or basketball, was that she had the physical skills to do anything she wanted to do, but there always would become like a critical time where if failure was potentially there, she'd find some excuse to get around doing it. She'd hurt her arm, or she would be sick or something, and she would avoid doing some of these tasks. Schoolwork was one of those areas where rather than take on a challenging subject or commit herself to it, she'd find other diversions and always blame it on the diversions, when in fact it was a fear of not being able to succeed, or maybe it was a fear of success. But we've noticed through the work she's done here, she's got a much more self-awareness about herself and what her abilities are. And I think the biggest thing she's learned is that, you know what, it's okay to try something and not be successful, and then you learn from your mistakes and you try again. And that's going to serve her tremendously in life. And she understands that it's hard work and perseverance that makes progress. And a lot of things in life are going to be challenging, and just not to give up and believe in herself. And I think that that has such ramifications to everything else in her life, whether it's pure relationships or sporting activities or dealing with us. That self-confidence has helped her understand who she is as a person, and her ability to work with that, and to understand that she's not perfect in everything, and she doesn't have to be. She just has to be who she is, and everybody should accept her for the way she is, with her imperfections, because we all have them. So.
And I feel like one of the biggest areas for Susie's growth here was getting to know who she is and being able to accept that, which goes along with everything you said. She knew who she was, but it wasn't enough. It was always a feeling of, I need to be this person, this type of person, for this person for another person to accept her. And to be able to have that self-awareness that this is why I do these things, and it's not a healthy thing to do. So to be able to even be aware that she's doing it is a big step.
There was no communication before, or as I said before, it was a one-way communication. It was communication from us, and not much coming back from her. I think as much as she's learned through the program, we've learned through the program. We've learned much better how to communicate with her. We've learned the theory that it's not the behavior that we should worry about, it's the reasons for the behavior that we need to address, and that using that as a focal point, it's helped the whole process of communication so much more, because we don't focus on the behavior, we focus on, well, what were you thinking about going into this, and what were you feeling, and you know, what were your options, and why did you decide to do things this way. And it's not that we're going to ignore the behavior. I mean, there'll still be some consequences for behavior, but for us to move forward, it's going to be, let's talk about what led us to that. And that was a huge tool for us to learn, and for her to be open to discuss that with us is, helps us understand why she's doing things, and, you know, and it's a step to making progress, so.